Sometimes someone's words can just cut so deep that they leave you speechless. You're trying to defend yourself, to explain your side of the story, but all that comes out is silence. You're left staring at them, wondering how they could even think about saying something so hurtful, so cruel. Your brain is racing with thoughts of anger and hurt and betrayal, but your mouth is just frozen in silence, and all you can do is look at them, wondering how they could be so heartless. You can return to the past, but it's empty now. Your old school is there, but your friends aren't. Your childhood home stands, but your family doesn't live there. The coffee shop you loved still exists, but the barista who knew your order has left. The streets are familiar, but the faces aren't. The buildings are the same, but the energy has changed. The past is a place, but the present is where life happens. You can't heal in the place you get hurt. One of the most difficult experiences in life is that unless you break the cycle, unless you remove yourself from a situation or environment where you have been hurt, you will most likely continue to be hurt. And turning the page is extremely difficult because it implies understanding and accepting that letting go of someone means that while they may have been a part of your history, they do not have to be a part of your destiny. Murakami once said, "Pain is unavoidable, but suffering is optional." And the longer you stay in a situation where you are the one getting hurt, the more difficult it is to heal, and the more you suffer. Behavior is the greatest language in a world full of words, speeches, and promises. Our lives are filled with constant communication. We hear them almost daily. I love you. I'm sorry. I'll do better. But how often do these words translate into action? Consider the people who have truly shaped your life. Chances are it wasn't their words that stood out, but their actions. It's easy to find the right words to say. We've all been guilty of making promises we couldn't keep, or offering empty words of comfort. The true self, however, can be determined by our behavior, our choices, our habits, our reflexive actions. It isn't our carefully curated online presence or our eloquent speeches. It's what we do, day in and day out, when no one's looking and there's nothing to gain. Words have power, but they gain their true strength when backed by consistent action. Let your behavior speak for you. It's the most authentic language we have. Pause for a moment and let this sink in. Just existing is enough on some days. Have you ever woken up and felt the weight of the world on your shoulders, when even the simplest tasks seem monumental? We live in a world that glorifies hustle, that values productivity as a way to measure worth. But here's a radical thought. Sometimes, just being here is your greatest achievement. Your body is fighting battles you can't see. Your mind is processing complexities you can't fathom. Your heart is healing wounds that aren't visible. On those days when getting out of bed feels like climbing a mountain, when showering is your biggest accomplishment, remember, you're doing okay. You're human, not a machine. You're allowed to have off days, to take breaks, to simply exist without justification. You're breathing. You're here. And sometimes that's more than enough. The beliefs and behaviors you were programmed with as a child weren't your choice, but addressing and changing them as an adult is entirely up to you. It was others who installed your beliefs, habits, and fears. These were given to you by parents, teachers, society. But now, You're the administrator of your own mind. Those old programs might be running in the background, influencing your thoughts and actions. They might be limiting your potential, keeping you stuck in patterns that no longer serve you. It's not your fault these programs exist, but it is your responsibility to update them, to debug the system, to install new, healthier software. You have the power to rewrite your mental code. You can't change your past, but you can change how it affects your present and future. The choice to heal, to grow, to reprogram, that's all yours. When you walk away from toxic situations, your body and mind begin to heal. It's like stepping out of a dark room into sunlight. In toxic environments, your body is constantly in fight or flight mode. Stress hormones flood your system, affecting everything from your sleep to your digestion. Your mind is always on edge, draining your energy. But when you leave, something remarkable happens. Your stress levels drop. Your body relaxes. You start sleeping better, eating better. Your mind clears, creativity returns. It's not just emotional, it's physical. Your skin might clear up, your posture improves, you smile more, laugh easier. This glow is your body's way of saying thank you. Thank you for choosing peace over chaos, self-respect over approval-seeking. Walking away isn't giving up, it's choosing yourself. It's recognizing your worth and refusing to let anyone dim your light. The healthier your environment, the brighter you shine. Work with what you have instead of fixating on what's missing. Proactive problem-solving beats complaining every time. Life doesn't always deal us the hand we want. Sometimes we find ourselves in situations that seem hopeless or unfair. But this mindset is a trap. It keeps us stuck, frozen in place. Instead, we can decide to work with what we have, no matter how little it might seem. Think about a candle. Its flames might seem insignificant against the vastness of darkness, but it changes everything. It provides warmth, light, and hope. It allows us to see what's around us and take steps forward. By focusing on what we can do rather than what we can't, we regain a sense of control. Even the smallest action can set big changes in motion. Ask yourself, what can I do right now with what I have? Then do it. There's no right way to grieve. Society often tries to package grief neatly, telling us there are stages to follow, a timeline to adhere to. But grief doesn't conform to these expectations. It's messy, unpredictable, and often defies logic. Grief doesn't follow a timeline. It doesn't care about societal expectations or well-meaning advice. It's as unique as a fingerprint, different for each person, for each loss. Some might cry for days while others feel numb. Some throw themselves into work while others can barely get out of bed. You might feel angry one day, relieved the next, and then guilty for feeling relieved. You might feel angry at the person you lost, then guilty for feeling angry. It can make you want to isolate yourself or surround yourself with people. It's like feeling a tsunami of emotions one day and a quiet, hollow emptiness the next. There's no right or wrong way to mourn. Don't let anyone tell you how to grieve. Don't let them dictate when you should move on or how you should feel. Your journey is your own. There are no rules, only the path that feels right for you.